everyone, lovely ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. I just wanted to do a very quick preamble before my next introduction, just because those of you that have been following me saw a message about the delivery driver. It wasn't the same delivery driver. I think he sent his mate up because it was definitely not the person in the picture. So I did get my Charlotte Tilbury delivery, and you're about to see it now. I'm going to do it in sections, so in case it's too long for people to wade through, I'm going to put some timestamps. I can't for some reason put timestamps in the description bar, so if anyone knows how to do that, please let me know. But when I've finished uploading the video, I will put it in a comment and pin the comment to the top. So please look out for those timestamps if you don't want to wade through the entire video. Okay, hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Hello, you lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. Well, I have just had a parcel arrive, and it is the new Charlotte Tilbury limited edition 3D lipsticks. So these, I think, came out on a website for general release today. I got them on VIP yesterday and got next day delivery, so I could show you guys. So I have the 3 shades. Couldn't decide, so I got them all 3, and I thought I wanted to show you anyway. So there's Super 90s, there is Supermodel, and there is Super Sexy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first apply these to my lips while we have peace and quiet, and Jack isn't here. And then I'm going to do you some swatches, and then at the end I'm going to do some swatch comparisons with other Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks so that you can see what other lipsticks are like. Okay, so let's get going. I'm not going to put any lip liner on because I don't want to disturb the colour of the lipstick. So let's get going with these lipsticks. If you want to see what makeup I've got on, I'll put all the details in the description bar. Okay, so Charlotte has brought out 3 shades, and the first one, they're all matte revolution, but they are luminous modern matte long lasting lipstick. Okay, and it describes it as a cashmere cream texture with a soft matte finish enriched with papaya and orchid. And the one I'm going to try first is Super 90s. Now, I don't like brown lipsticks very much, and one of the lipsticks I've never purchased is Birkin Brown, but I was quite intrigued by the colour of this. It wasn't too brown, and I have tried them quickly on this morning, and I quite like it, so see what you think. So that is Super 90s. And I think it is sort of 90s, but it's 90s with a modern twist. I think it's a very wearable brown. So I actually quite like that one. I like it a lot. Okay, so next we'll get on to Super Sexy. So this is Super Sexy, and there it is. And I'll put that on next. So that is Super Sexy. Okay, next we are moving on to Supermodel. Okay, I've saved the best till last. I say best, my favourite, my personal favourite for last, called Supermodel. And I'll tell you in a minute why I like it, but let me just apply it first. So that's what it looks like, and let's put it on. So that is Supermodel. Now, what I like about this one, and I have a feeling this is going to be my everyday go-to out of all my lipsticks, because it's almost as though it's my shade of lips. So it's, and you might think, why would you want to put on your shade of lips? Like you want to put on a colour. But it's like evening out my lip tone and how my lips would look if they were one uniform colour. So it's almost my perfect nude. And also the Super 90s one, I think if I mix those two together, it would probably be spot on. So I think if you're a similar colouring to me and you've never found the perfect nude because they're always too pale, then this is probably a good one to look at. This one is Supermodel, or alternatively, Super 90s. Super 90s has got less pink in it. So if you think it's a little bit on the pink side to be your perfect nude, then go for Super 90s. And then Super Sexy is sort of very different, I think, out of all three. Now, before I move on to the swatches, I'm just going to tell you what my sort of first impressions are. They feel very light on the lips. I reckon they're going to be, obviously I haven't tested them yet, but I reckon they're going to be quite long lasting. They feel super comfortable. I think cashmere is a good description. They feel very silky soft. They feel a lot lighter than a Matte Revolution formula. Just wanted to come in here and say that having looked at the website, she doesn't actually say these are any different to her other Matte Revolution lipsticks. They're just 3 special edition shades. However, I stick by what I'm saying because they do feel a lot lighter than some of the other shades in terms of the texture. They feel a lot more lightweight. Okay. And very, very flattering on the lips. Let me just close up again and try not to show you my horrible teeth. So they look really natural. They don't look like you've plastered a load of lipstick on. I'm not sure about 3D. I'm not sure why she described it as 3D. They do have a little bit of a glow to them, but I'm not sure I would describe it as 3D. That to me is not a negative point. Tell me what you think. I'd be interested in your views. They're definitely very flattering on the lips. Okay, so next up I'm going to do some arm swatches, and I'll do them on the palest part of my arm so that you can see what they would look like if you've got paler skin. All right. Okay, so first up we have Super 90s, and I'm just going to swatch that, and I'm also going to intersperse with some pictures at the end. So when I've swatched all 3, you'll see a picture in a better light. Okay, so here we have Super 90s. And then we have Supermodel, which is the one that I'm wearing. Can you see what I mean about Super 90s has got more brown, this has got more pink, but they're quite similar spectrum in terms of the nude shade. And then we have Super Sexy. Just checking I've got the right one. So this is Super Sexy. Okay, so that one is it's got a lot more, it's a lot warmer than the other 2, as you can probably see. Okay, so next up you'll see the pictures, and then we'll get on to some comparisons with other Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. Okay, Jack is back, so you can hear him in the background. Okay, so I'm going to do some swatch comparisons. I've been busy swatching away, so that's coming up next. And then after that, I needed to finish by showing you the lip cheats that she pairs them with if you want to get a kit with a lip liner that goes with each of these lipsticks. I've got each 3 of those lip liners, so I will show you those to finish off with. Okay, but next up is the swatch comparisons. So first of all, let's go on to Super 90s. Now this was the easiest one for me to find matches with because it reminded me of a lot of things as I put it on. So there is Super 90s, okay? And so the nearest ones that I could find to Super 90s, the nearest one that came to mind to me was Very Victoria. I'm just finding that for you. And I will swatch that next to it. So if you look at Very Victoria, which is also, this is a Matte Revolution, her sort of, her normal Matte Revolution. I don't know if the camera catches this, but it looks a lot thicker, her normal Matte Revolution. These new ones are, they just feel a lot lighter on the lips, but that is Very Victoria next to Super 90s. So you can see it's slightly paler, and I would say it's got a slight hint, a bit more of a pinkish hint to it. Possibly slightly warmer, but they are very, very similar. Okay, so that was the nearest one I could find to Super 90s. Okay, next up we have Supermodel, which is still quite similar, I think, to Super 90s. Now, the nearest lipstick I could find to that was a lipstick called Confession, which you will have remember came in her lip archive kit, and you were able to buy it just after Christmas. So I'm just going to put on Supermodel. Now, I would describe Supermodel as a darker version of Pillow Talk, and it is to go with the lip liner Supersize Me, which is also a darker version of Pillow Talk. So if you find Pillow Talk too pale for you, this is a similar shade but darker for darker skin tones, I would say. So that's Supermodel. And then I will show you the nearest one that I found to it, which was Confession, which is here. Now, Confession is in a kissing formula. And obviously it looks a bit lighter, but that's the nearest one I could find out of my collection. Okay, so I'll just intersperse a swatch here. Okay, last up we have Super Sexy. Now, because this is the least nude shade, this was the most difficult I've found to find a comparison. So I'm just going to show you Super Sexy first. Now, I thought it might be like Sexy Lips, which was the one that she brought out in the shiny versions just before Christmas, but it wasn't really. That was a lot lighter. So that is Super Sexy. Okay, now I'm just going to give you 3 lipsticks next to it for comparison, because there isn't anything that I would say was absolutely the same or very similar. So this is Amazing Grace, just to give you an idea of what that looks next to it, sort of on a similar spectrum. And then you have Walk of Shame, which I thought was probably the closest, actually. So that's Walk of Shame. In fact, that looks very similar. And then you have Bond Girl, which is a bit darker, but just so that you can see it as comparison. Okay, so you have Super Sexy, Bond Girl, Walk of Shame, and Amazing Grace. I forgot the first one, so I did it that way around. Okay, so I'll do you another swatch in between here. Okay, and finally, Charlotte's brought out some lip slick kits, which basically pairs up each of these new lipsticks with one of her lip cheats. And I have all the lip cheats that go with them. So I'm going to swatch you finally, again, each of the lipsticks alongside their counterpart lip cheat, and do swatches in between. So first up, we will go to Super Sexy again. So let's do Super Sexy. I'm going to put it on this underside of my arm this time. So that is Super Sexy. Okay. Sorry, I've been swatching so much on my arm. And then what she has alongside that is Hot Gossip lip cheat. So I will swatch that for you on here. So that is Hot Gossip lip cheat, which she has alongside Super Sexy. It's quite a bit browner, but that's what she suggests with it. Okay, then we have Super 90s, and what she suggests with Super 90s is Love Trap. Now, I think you could equally use Foxy Brown if you have it with this one. Here is Super 90s. And then Love Trap lip cheat, which I'll just put underneath. And that is actually a very good match, as you can probably see. All right, finally, we have Supermodel. And as I said, this, if you think of it as a darker version of Pillow Talk, I think that that's a really good description of Supermodel. And it certainly is of its counterpart, lip cheat. So this is Supermodel there. And then underneath it is the lip cheat in Supersize Me, which I shall swatch underneath. And that's a good match. The only one that just seems a bit out of place is that first one. 11. So anyway, I will insert a photograph of those. If you have any questions, do let me know. I'm just going to do a conclusion after this swatch. Okay, so finally to conclude, I definitely recommend these lipsticks. I love the colours. I think the two Supermodel and Super 90s are my favourites out of the two. Now, when I looked up the description, I realised that they are no different, the description, to any of our other Matte Revolution lipsticks. However, what I will say is that these lipsticks feel incredibly light, and a lot lighter than some of the other Matte Revolution lipsticks on the lips. And I have a feeling that these are going to last. They don't feel slidey, which obviously matte lipsticks don't normally feel slidey, but they don't feel drying either. So I think I'm going to probably be getting a lot of use out of Super 90s and Supermodel. I'm not as keen on Super Sexy, although it's nice. I just think the other two nude shades are better. And I think the two Super 90s and two Supermodel are definitely for you if you've not yet found a nude shade that you find suits you because you are darker skin tone. They are definitely lovely nudes. I'm half Asian, certainly suit me, and they feel like the perfect nude. I think Super Sexy will be something that you'd like. If you like something slightly brighter with a little bit more colour, and it's sort of got a very nice coral undertone to it. But it's for someone, I think, that would like to wear coral lipsticks, but perhaps doesn't feel confident to wear some of the brighter corals. I think you will enjoy that lipstick. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Now, I can't, for some reason, I've not figured out how to post timestamps in my description bar. But I will post them. If anybody knows how to do that so that it actually comes across, do let me know. But I can post them in the comments. So after I've uploaded this video, I will pin a comment to the top and I will timestamp so that you can flick through. And maybe I'll say that at the beginning, actually. Shall I say it at the beginning? Yeah, I'll do both. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed today's video and I will see you very soon for another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends. And I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.